another vlog if you are not subscribed to this channel. Dude, while I'm waiting for these mothers right here to dry, I wanted to talk about something. Have you noticed this consistent meme that's been going around on these skater boy channels? Have you? No. It is a cautious tale of a skate shop and explaining its validity to the masses of the quantum theory of the equilateral form. It's about Zumiez. I actually went there the other day and here was my experience. Good morning. How you doing, man?
Hey, dickweed! How can we help you today?
I just need to buy some, like, skateboard gear.
Nice boosted board, douchewagon. He probably pushes Mongo, right, guys? I hate Asian people.
It was horrifying. It definitely wasn't me playing all those voices. There's just a ton of, yeah, it's a cool skate shop, like it's cool. Yeah, I like. And a lot of, yeah, they're like really stupid. I don't know, I just like, they're like, I don't know. But I have figured out a way to get the truth behind a global dominant skate shop and the effects it has, not just told by a savage skater boy. But now we're on the way to the office to meet said friend. Yo, what's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
Hello, John.
Hey, man.
That's true. That right?
Yo, I'm sorry to interrupt the video real quick, but I just got off the phone with Dave Tool, had the conversation, and it was so insightful, so inspiring. So stay tuned, about to play it right now. But I just wanted to say that the conversation went on for like 30 minutes or so, and I'm only gonna try to put in what I think is the most essential, important information for you to know, especially about Zumiez, how it affects the industry, how it affects skateboarding, how it affects the younger skaters, people getting into skating, like every single aspect of skateboarding itself, but I also don't want to soil this video by continuing on with the day afterwards and showcasing kind of what I'm doing, because I think the message was so important that as soon as the conversation ends, this video is actually going to end. So the rest of the video is just a conversation with Dave and I, but if you want to see more, tune in tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe, because usually if you're new to my channel, we go out and about all day, we have fun, it's great, it's amazing. I'm going to continue to do that, but it's got to be a separate video. This conversation is just too important. So yeah, tune in right now and hope you enjoy. Dave Tool, state
John Hill.
State your occupation, condom size.
50 sack. Because my balls are inflamed.
Oh, nice, nice. From all the sex you're having.
Hey, what's up? I'm David Blue Tile. I own Blue Tile Skate Shop.
What's your, I don't really know how to ask it, but just kind of what's your opinion about Zumiez? Because I feel like there's a lot of opinions about it from skaters who kind of try to rationalize it. Rather than, because they're just like, there's a Zumiez next to me, so screw it, but there's no like explanation of how it affects anyone.
There's so many levels to it, just like I said in the text messages. It's like, can you really fault somebody for being super successful?
Right.
You know, if there were Supreme stores everywhere, would we all hate Supreme too? You know, it's like the same thing. Are they genius, or are they just kind of stepping on people's toes? Vans is like kind of coming in as direct competition for us, you know, and they're opening up stores all over the place.
Right.
So, and Vans is a brand I carry. It's not even a store. Like, I'm competing with my brands.
Right.
Which is crazy. I'll just say mall chains, because it's not just Zumiez, but it gets hard because, you know, we worked super hard to get Owens Field built. It wasn't easy. Like, it took 7 years or something to get the skate park. So when you see the kids that you're used to seeing in your store roll up on some sort of terrible Superior skateboard or Goodwood or whatever the hell it is that they got from the mall, it's just kind of like, damn, dude, like, oh, but you didn't carry this, so I got it there. I'm like, well, you know, I don't carry it for a reason in some instances, but then on the other side of the scale, it's like, yeah, I can't carry everything, so there will be things that they don't have and things that I don't have. I've got 300 boards in the store. You should be able to find one that suits your needs.
They don't need Goodwood.
And like Zumiez does not have 300 boards in the store. You know.
Was it founded by a skater?
I don't know. It used to have a different name, but like, at what point was there a disconnect? Because me as a skateboarder, you know, I visited Portland twice. Maybe I could open another shop out here. But then there's 3 other shops there that are owned by skateboarders.
Right.
So why does anyone think like, hey, you know what? Like, I know my friend Jonathan has a shop in Savannah, Georgia, but why don't I go to Savannah, Georgia and open a shop? Well, you're going to be competing directly with someone else, and the corporate chain is probably not going to struggle that much because they have money coming in elsewhere. Of course, they have to meet quota, you know, but small stores just can't compete like that. So I think that's when everybody gets bent out of shape. It's like you don't have the marketing budget to reach everyone. Mm-hmm. You can't afford mall rent, you know, so you can't be right there. In many cases, you can't be right beside them competing.
So when the Zumiez opened up in Columbia, did it have a direct effect on your sales?
Absolutely. Yeah. There are things that Zumiez has and things that we have. You know, like I may have something in stock that they don't and vice versa. But whenever there's like new technology or like a new shoe or some kind of new story, the mall chains are never going to get that first. If there's like somebody's new pro shoe or somebody or some new design in footwear, the specialty store is always going to get it first.
Right.
For at least a year, usually longer than a year. I mean, we had Stefan Janowski's for what, four or 5 years before the malls did.
Do you think the big companies will continue to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that because if you use that same model, like all other sports got eaten up by like Dick's Sporting Goods and all these big chains. So now you can't really have that, you know, specialty service in those chains like you used to be able to. So if I go to Strictly Running, which is a locally owned running shoe store, I will get the highest technology that's on the market. Right. You know, and if I go to Dick's Sporting Goods, I won't. I will get the most common, most widely spread, you know, like, well, I'll get the shoe they made for the masses. And that's what Zumiez gets.
Exactly. And when I went in there, I noticed that as well. There's a lot of really old products, but they also have a lot of just like, it appeals to a completely different demographic nowadays. You know, like the demographic that started to come into Blue Tile for the Nikes, that's what they push. And it's this really weird backwards thing now where like the inspiration for kids are basically like SoundCloud rappers and like, you know, like this whole rap life. So it's super weird because that rap life wants to look like skaters, but skaters want to appeal to them, so they'll wear what they wear to try to be like skaters. It's like all really
a weird cycle. We're all chasing our tails.
Exactly.
Here's the funny part about that. That dude that's looking cool, he's chasing a trend.
Right.
You know, the trends start in the street, which is where we skate.
Right.
So street level hip hop, street level rap or punk rock or indie rock or whatever else, that's where things are happening. So like, I'm going to be more, I mean, believe it or not, I'm fucking 44 years old. I'm still going to punk rock shows and still skating. So that is where fashion starts. That is where trends start. So like, I'm more connected to what's going on. You know, if like say what's going on with like FA and 917 and all these like smaller Quasi, all this sort of stuff. Zumiez is chasing that stuff. They can't get it. They're chasing it. It was the same thing with Puff or Rip and Dip. Rip and Dip we used to murder it with.
Right.
Well, it's because we were the only people in town that could have it. And for like 4 years we were.
Right.
But then Zumiez is going to chase that. So that dude that thinks he's going in and getting the hottest new apparel like Huff or like Rip and Dip, they're buying the stuff that we were on 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, when I worked at Blue Tile.
Yeah, exactly. When you worked there, that's when it was hot. And so once it hits those mall stores, the street is over it.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like kind of ridiculous that the people that go in think they're being cool, but it's really they're chasing the people who are cool.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and they're afraid to jump on that new gear. You know, like, ooh, I don't know, because they're afraid people might not like them. Oh, you look like a kook. They don't want to lead the charge. They want to ride the coattails.
Yeah.
And that's what Zumiez is. They ride the coattails of the specialty stores. You know? Man, I got so much to say about all this. Brands die in specialty retail when they go to the mall, usually. There's some that can maintain, you know, Thrasher. Right. But Thrasher, skaters aren't buying Thrasher anymore. Whenever something gets really big and really popular, I just get turned off by it.
Right.
And it's to a fault. I agree. Like when I first opened, like Bam. Bam is the perfect thing. I like Bam as a skateboarder, as a human. But all the hem stuff and all the terrible heartogram stuff and like all this purple and pink and weird, I'm like, this stuff is corny. It's terrible mall store stuff. And I wouldn't carry it. So the biggest trend in skateboarding, I wouldn't carry. Right. You know, like rewind back to those days, I wouldn't carry Revive back then. You know, but my mind has changed to go, you know what? Like, I met Andy. They're awesome people. Right. And they're skateboarders. And they're more real skateboarders than a lot of people. Yeah. Than a lot of companies.
The people who like run companies. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like when I go to a trade show and I'm like sitting in meetings and Andy and Brian are like, dude, we're going to go skate them out. Yeah. You know, like they don't even sit through the whole meeting. I'm like, well, shit, I have a business to run. Well, he does too, and he's a whole lot more successful than I am. That's a lot of the hatred towards Zumiez or mall chains is jealousy, for one. Mm-hmm. Because they can open up and immediately have that money, those dollars, and I don't know. I just it sucks, but it's like this is what I do. This is what I love to do. So when somebody comes in just for money, it kind of hurts your feelings. You know, it's like, God damn it, you don't even care about these kids or my city. But you're coming in and you're taking their money, and their target isn't really skateboarding, but they take enough of the skateboarders to hurt, you know?
Again, I want to thank you for watching this video. I just thought it was important in the conversation. It was something that I feel inside, and of course you got some of my insight as well, and I'm super glad that this video came out. But usually I do videos that are more adventurous, more my whole day, but also if you want Blue Tile Skate Shop, I'll link their website in the top of the description below. You can go there and yeah, shop on there. It's the same price as you would get at Zumiez. You can shop online from Blue Tile and it gets delivered right to you, right? It's easy. It's my hometown skate shop, so they sort of like taught me the way of skating. They taught me a lot of things that have made me who I am today, and I appreciate the hell out of someone like that who is working really hard to keep the local scene alive in Columbia, South Carolina. Also, if you want to watch yesterday's video, boom! A bunch of adventure, a bunch of fun. If you want to subscribe to this channel, yo, appreciate you like crazy. And then of course tomorrow, we'll be back right in the flow of skating and going crazy and hanging out and having lots of fun. Guys, love you so much. Progress daily and keep killing it.